for letting me know the live feed is working. So with Amy's hair, I've started in the back. Everything in the back that I'm doing is going to be the balayage. The balayage highlight allows me to put more lightness on the ends and less lightness at the scalp. Let me turn this around so I can put this. Because I want to show you guys how I'm actually doing this. Because believe it or not, you can even do this yourself. Because most of us know how to tease. And that's what a balayage highlight is. It's teasing. So you can see Amy's grown out her hair a lot. All her darkness is on the ends. She has a lot of little teeny streaks, but she doesn't have any solid darkness. It's really solidly light and then dark. So I have to make sure that if you put a traditional highlight on here, which would look like this. So traditional highlight, we call it a weave, piece. And the problem with this type of highlighting is you end up putting more lightness here than here. You see how much, there's less hair right here than there is here. So if I do that, she's going to end up with a lot of lightness here. Obviously, I'm not going to be touching here because this is her new growth. But if I was going all the way down here, I would be putting more lightness at the scalp and not as much lightness on the ends. And everybody, whether you are transitioning or not, need more lightness on the ends than we do at the scalp. It looks unnatural when you have more lightness at the scalp than you do at the ends. So to fix that, we do what's called a balayage. These little brushes, I love them. When I'm teasing, what's happening is it's pushing some of these ends down here so that when I highlight, it looks very naturally blended between here and here. If you guys have seen the young people that like to do just the lightness on the ends, but it looks like they dipped their hair in a can of paint, it's because they didn't tease and they left it, and leaves a hard line right here. So you have to tease to create the softness on the line. So I've got a decent amount of teasing, and then I'm left with this hair, and this is the hair that I'm going to paint. See if I can get this brighter. Okay, now, remember I talked about the application. She's so dark down here. So this is where all that product is going to go. I talked about how it's important that you put a lot on. Oops, sorry. So we're going to go back and forth. And just to show you how it's important on the back and forth, a lot of people, especially stylists, they think, ooh, here we go, I've put enough product on the hair, looks good. But it's not. Watch what happens. See on the back side? No lightener got there, no lightener got there, and there. If you don't roll the hair back and forth, you're not going to get good application. And without a good application, you're not going to be happy with the lift. So on these dark ends or super red, we need a lot of product. And see how I'm getting to the end of the foil right there? But I'm not going to be bringing the lightener all the way up here. Just pull a little bit. Now I'm not running out of foil anymore. Because she has this blue tinge up here, I am doing a slight lightness up here. Just a little bit. Not much. Because I'm not worried about that blue. It's going to blend for the most part. And then remember, I don't like all the folding. Every time we make a bend this way, that messes up the lightening. So if you want to fold it to secure it, which there's nothing wrong with that. Now in Amy's case, most clients, we have a fairly large dropout in between. We would drop that out and then we would move on to another one. In Amy's case, I'm not doing that because she's pretty solidly light and solidly dark on the bottom. So I'm just taking a very minimal amount, just a teeny bit on the in between. And then I'm gonna get right back up here. And anytime I see where she has a fairly decent dark streak, I'm gonna pull it out because that's her natural color. I don't want to mess with that. So whenever it's possible for me to pull out a dark streak, if I see it, I will pull it out. Otherwise, I have to just leave it alone. See, there's another dark one right there. See that darkness right there? Pull it out. When I was teasing, see that dark patch? Those are her ends that have been pushed down. And that's not a bad thing because remember, that's going to make this blend well. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check the packets that we first started on. See how they're lifting. Because if her dark hair is struggling, now would be the time for me to put some heat on it. For every minute of heat, equals 8 minutes of sitting time. So never let somebody sit you under their dryer for hours and hours. Sorry, they would never sit you under the dryer for hours and hours. That was such a big exaggeration. Never let someone sit you under the dryer for 20, 30, 40 minutes. It's too much time. Okay, so you could see her hair's lightening beautifully. Obviously, the dark is still very, very orange. And believe it or not, I'm not really happy about that because this is already drying out. So I'm going to go back, and I'm not surprised. Dark ends really take a little muscle. And I'm going to give it some freshness. Remember, if the bleach is on here too long in a packet, or if it is dry, it stops working. And when I pulled it out, it was pretty dry. So what I'm going to do for these first ones is I'm going to go back and I'm going to hit them with the flat iron. But I'm only going to hit the very ends where you saw it was very orange. Because I want to speed this up. And not speed it up in a way that makes it become over-processed. I want to help it catch up because that bleach drying out is going to stop it from getting past orange. As soon as I put some heat to this bleach down here, it's going to moisten it. All the packets in the back are going to be balayage and on the sides. When I get to her part, I'm going to do a different technique, which I will show you guys that when we get up there. All right, so make sure that you apply heavily to the dark area. Make sure that you crisscross back and forth. Don't fold. Once the bleach has been on the hair for 45 minutes, go back and check it, see how it's doing, see if it needs a little help. And in this case, it did need a little help. And if I haven't told you guys enough, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for telling your friends. Thank you for your comments. I can't tell you how much you mean to me. You have helped me so much in the direction of where I'm going in this last chapter of hair. And if you can't tell, I love you and love hair. I was in high tech before I did hair, and I'm so grateful I had a boss who set me free. Told me, go find something you love to do. And 20 years later, well, more than that, I can tell you I still love it. I love everything about it. When you open up these packets, don't ever be afraid to get back in, open up, re-bleach, or put some heat on. Don't think that the very first time you put in the packet, you're done and you don't have to do anything else, or It's not okay to open the foils. It's okay to open the foils. It's okay to reapply bleach. It's okay to apply heat, just not too much. So I'm going to balayage probably one more, finish off her sides, and then I'm going to jump to the top and the sides, and I'm going to do a different pattern. I'll come back live on my next pattern. Thanks for watching. I love you guys.